Alright, how you going, guys? Morning back. Jesus, I'll start that again. Good morning, guys. How you going? Welcome back. Anyway, this will be 69. So I've got some more fresh info yesterday and last night. Was Sunday. The vehicle, actually, I flew it through a picture up, or some pictures up of one in the States. You know, found out some interesting info when I had a look at the photos. There's some bracketry on here that's strengthening this up, and you know that the body thing is up in here, and there's also some bracketry up in there, because not that the back brackets are on there on that C.A.R in the States, but it just gave me a little bit more info again. And the guy from Australia, Dave, he sent me 3 videos yesterday of some good info to do with the top, the width of the top bar, and the rough radiuses are in here, which is really, really handy, which is much appreciated. Thanks, Dave. And obviously a bit more stuff from here. Sent us a little bit of info about the linkages and stuff for the motor. Again, thanks, because there's where's that? This piece here, which is the pedals, which is up that way, it doesn't matter. That's actually a ball sits in there, which is totally different and unique. So we'll have to get something made up for that. So that's the accelerator for the floor. So it's a ball that sits really close to the floor. He said apparently it's really a pain to use. So what I thought of is maybe if we do make a ball, maybe we could make it slightly edge shaped or something like that, and make it a little bit higher, just so it was a little bit more usable. We'll just see how we go there. So that we'll just get something made up. I can, the other day I can probably give my brother that diameter and he can make something up to fit in there, or whatever, or one of the other engineering places, and we'll just get something made to fit in there. So that's a pretty simple thing. I was thinking, oh, what goes in there? Like it's a very big hole, like we're going to try and diverse some sort of pedal mechanism, but if it's just a steel ball sort of type thing in there, that's very simple to make. So that's cool. So there's another little bit of info. Another thing too was the capping for the body. This stuff, apparently it does go all the way around the back. So I've got the stuff that's made up here. So I'm going to have to try and make the rest of it. So yeah, I'm going to have to get a little bit more in depth and have a play and make some of these bits, or make I'm going to, at some point soon, I'll make a couple of little test samples to get myself familiar with making it, and then try and make some. I'm not sure how this would have been made. I think this would have been probably put through a roller or some description, and possibly even a bead roller, or I don't know how they would have made, or how this person made these. They probably had like you could make up a form, get some, yeah, you could have a top die and a bottom die that was the right size, like you could make that. It's possibly something you could actually turn up out of wood, you know, like out of hardwood or something like that, and roll it, you know, and have those two, have that shape and just roll it through. But obviously you'd have to actually have the steel the right shape to roll it through. So like there's probably a few different options there. So yeah, I have to work on that to make that gate piece. I'm guessing it's probably one piece, but it might be 2 or 3. So yeah, maybe Dave might again give me a bit more info on that. Yeah, because that's one thing too I've seen on the back of that one that's in America with no hood or top or no inside trim there. It looked like it had something else sitting up on top here, and I couldn't sort of see what it was. I didn't know it was wood or what it was. So I'm actually waiting for some photos from that guy too, so I can get a wee bit more in depth, a better, clearer picture of some of that back stuff. Just again, so we can improve and get a bit more closer and all those sorts of things, and not miss things, and then obviously have issues and problems when it's finished. Because yeah, like the bracket, there's a bracket that sort of hooks into here, into the wood. That's obviously part of these original pieces that these are, I think they're duplex, those little brackets that go down to the inner here and then come back up here. They must be duplex ones, and the open top Tourer ones are a bit different. They've got like a bit more spread out, take a bit more weight of this, obviously, whereas the other ones it's just a bit of body strengthening. So yeah, there's bits and pieces like that too that we obviously need to do a little bit more research on and just work out a few things. But you know, it's something else that can be made and easy enough to make. Just a little bit more detail, and yeah, I'll get it made shortly. So yeah, I'm just trying to think what I'm going to do this morning or today. I'm half tempted to maybe have a play with these cappings and just see if I can make that. Maybe make some test samples or something like that, and use my because I've still got my wood form that would help me make that shape, and just see if I can maybe hammer it, which is a possibility, but it's a long way around to hammer it. It could be done, but yeah, we'll work on it. I might be able to get if I can get my brother that profile, you know, I could probably get him to turn up a couple of nylon rollers, and you know, we'll just make something up. Even make it, use some skateboard bearings or something like that, make a shaft and just make something that we can roll and push it through and pull it through and whatever, and help shape it and whatever. Yeah, like it's a shame I haven't got a bead roller. I used to have a bead roller in Australia, but something like that would be perfect with a couple of nylon rollers on it that was that shape, and just obviously cut the material, and obviously gives yourself a little bit extra width, and yeah, just try and run it through with some help, and that would probably be the way to do it, and form those pieces. So that's possibly something we might have to look at doing. Yeah, but yeah, it's all those little things that you just don't know. Actually, it's something else. I don't think there's one across here, but I'll have to look at Dave's pictures. I'm pretty sure on that duplex that was in Queenstown, there's none of that stuff there. So I can understand the duplex doesn't have it, because all of a sudden it comes up to here, and then it's got that little back window that's in here, and it's all like a hard top, so it doesn't have it around there. And I think that's what these pieces here were copied off. They probably had pieces from the duplex body, which this is the back of a duplex body. It's not an original open top Tourer body, but it's an original open top Tourer car. As I've said in earlier videos, when this man got this car, it had been cut off into it and they had a flat deck on it. So it was used as a farm vehicle basically. Probably back in the 30s, well, maybe not the 30s, but it would say maybe in the 40s and 50s, it was used as a farm vehicle down here. So he found another back body section, which is an original Studebaker back body, but it's a duplex back half, and yeah, obviously he had no top because it was turned into a truck and they obviously never worried about it. So they just threw the top away at some point. Yeah, so we're turning it back to what it should have been. And that's why these uprights are different to the other ones that we've got here, because they are proper Tourer uprights for the windscreen. Whereas the other ones that are over on the, I'm assuming a 27, the Roadster, well, not a Roadster, a hardtop coupe, I would guess you'd call it. Yeah, they're completely different. They've actually got seals and they'll wind up windows, and I assume they'll wind up windows sort of type thing, because there's tops of the door frames for that. They're like wood and steel top door frames sitting in that car there somewhere. So yeah, like it's not an open sides either. It's a proper hard top door framed car, if you know what I mean. So yeah, those door frames are different, and it's the same. The door frames that are on that cowl up the top there are the same as those ones. So yeah, I don't know if the I'd have to have a look at the duplex that's in Queenstown. It may have something similar to those uprights, but it's a hard top, so it probably doesn't have the balls on the top. But I don't know. You know, you can't see what's underneath the wood, so you don't know. But anyway, I'll stop waffling, and yeah, I might make a little bit of sheet metal and just see if I can play and make that shape on a little test piece. Yeah, I'll have a go anyway. See what we can do, because I haven't got a lot more to do with that Lincoln stuff, because I haven't got any gas in my welder, so I can't. I was going to have a wee play and tack a little bit of this thing, but then I realised I've got no gas, so you're waiting on gas. Hopefully, when they get a chance to go back into the place where we get the gas from, we'll get that. So there'll be a couple of days type thing, maybe tomorrow. So yeah, I may as well have a play and see if I can make. I might try and make a short piece. So I'll find a carbon, make a template out, and work a few things out and see if we can make up a little piece of body trim, eh? Why not? Make it from scratch. Right, here's my rough shape for that curve of that back of the body. So I'll get a So, the good with this is, actually, use the proper one. I use this I think it's a genuine remake or an old stock new, what's it, 48 millimeters, or, what's that, an inch. Half inch and 3/4. I'm trying to think. Oh. 7/8, inch and 7/8, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yeah, inch and 7/8 it is, or about 48 mils. Wide. So obviously I need the extra piece here as well, which is, you know, a little bit of that. So I'll add an extra half an inch or so. But I'll just get this main shape first. Cut that out, I'll lay that on a piece of steel, and then I'll add the extra on. Test my metalworking skills, this will. Especially by hand. But all part of the learning process, eh? Right. So I got that template made. I'll go sort out some crap over there. Lay that piece of panel steel out, and then we'll mark this on there, and then we'll add the extra. I'm probably going to add, I think for extra, just because of that shape, you know, you're probably gathering it up by, you know, probably another 1/8 of an inch in there or more. You know, if you actually splayed that out flat, you know, you probably would, you'd gain a lot. Actually, what I could do, I've got this piece here, I might actually straighten it out and flatten it out and actually see how much material is actually in there. Because that'll give me a piece to go by for width, so I'll do that too. But yeah, I'll go over a clean up over there, get my big piece of sheet metal on the bench, and we'll work some of these things out. Back shortly. Righty, so I've had a quick clean up around here. Sweep the floor, moved that diff out of the road and all the housing, all that sort of stuff. Had a quick sweep up, whatever. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten this out, just to see how much material I do actually need, because this will tell me. And it's just one of those pieces off, one of those original pieces that I cut off. So I'll flatten that out and see how much material I need. And I've got a little scrap piece here, which I'm going to use to try and make a short piece like that, just to see how to do it before I cut. Well, I'll use this as my template and then add the width of what this is, even both sides, and then cut it out and try and make that piece. So I'll have a wee play with a wee short piece first, you know, to give me a feel for it, how it's going to move, what I need to do to make it back into that shape. I might even reshape that piece as well, just to give me another piece to play with. But we'll flatten that out and yeah, see how we get on. So I'll just use a pair of pliers. Point you down a little bit, I'll move back. So I'll see if I can use a pair of pliers just to bend this out. For a start. Hopefully it's not too hard that it breaks when I flatten it out in splits, which is possible. I probably could use a little bit of heat just to help soften the steel, if you know what I mean, take the hardness out of it, because this is, like the rest of it, probably 100 years old, or borderline, if you know what I mean. Just gently pulling it back. And it's the beauty of having those little forms made. I'll have to really shorten one of those up, or make like I might have to make a little short piece to shape that and get a nice smooth edge, just because of the sheer radius that, or I might have to make another little bit that's got quite a tight radius in it, which I'll probably need to make it just as easy to make another piece out of some scrap. It's nice and short. It's got quite a sharp radius in it. Doesn't, you know, just a few inches long. And play with it when I get to that point. Oh, excuse me. Actually thought it was going to be cold in this morning, but it's not. It's actually quite mild. I can just about hammer it down, I think. So I'm going to go too much too quick and split it, and then I can't use it for what I want to use it for. This is going to be really entertaining if I make this. Man, I need a haircut, don't I? Shit. Right. Excuse me. But it's nice and flat to me. Right. Where's me rule? See how wide this is. So it is 3 3⅛ wide, or basically 80 mils. Not quite 80 mils, but it wouldn't matter. So yeah, it's a lot wider than so yeah, it's quite a bit wider than what you think. Yeah, by the time you flatten it out, it's not too bad though. But, yeah. Needs quite a bit extra on each side, at least ½ an inch of extra material. It needs extra ½ an inch each side at least before we make it. But so I might just write it down. Well, remember, and I've still got it flattened. Let's see. It's about 78, 79 mils wide, that little piece. Just write that on there. Or, yeah, 3, it's not quite 3 1/8 wide. We're getting into, it's probably 3 3/16, 3 3/16, something like that. It's not quite 3 1/8. But anyway, oh. See, that piece is barely wide enough, but I'll just cut this off through here. Yeah, I actually thought it might have been wide enough, but it's not quite. But I'll just cut it off. I'll just shape this piece anyway, just for the sake of doing it. It just means there won't be much of an edge on this piece. So I'll cut that off. That'll give me another piece to play with, and I'll reshape this back to that again, just to give me something to play with and work it out and see what it takes to actually make it move. So I'll quickly nip this off with the angle grinder, and I'll just clean the edges up with the die grinder with a little sanding disc, and I'll have a beat. I'll just basically, I think I'll use, I think this is a fairly good shape for this initial piece, and then I think it'll probably be just like an edge like this, or like this, trying to get that to form around in that shape. I might have to hold pressure on here, like it's one of those clamps, just to sort of clamp it down and then like hammer it so it doesn't move around. But I'll work it out. I'll make it work. It'll just be a matter of playing and gently. I may even have to make a rod with a cut in it and walk that edge, walk that whole edge for a start off, and obviously mark my true width, and just walk that edge up until I can get it in my little die form that I've made originally to help hammer these out. Just to walk at that edge up until we get it like that, and I can hammer this shape into it, and then we can just keep going through steps, and then obviously make a hard curved one of these to match that, to match this sort of curve, so we can get it round inside there, because that's way too flat. But yeah, we need to make a piece that will, that would barely go around inside there. It's possibly short enough, but it's not the right shape. So when you're hammering it, it's miles away. So I need to make, especially for this piece here, I need to get that curve sort of right. So that'll be fun. And then I got to make two of them, and then the piece that goes across the back. So yeah, I don't know if it's meant to be in three pieces, but even if I have to make it in three bits and then join it together, if you know what I mean. You can cut it and join it wherever we want. I just thought that was a good section to make before it sort of goes more straight again. So anyway, I'll cut that off. I'll stop waffling. Shut up, Glenn. This is what I mean by walking the edge. You just keep walking along it, and just gently, a little bit at a time. You can even do this with like on a wheel arch. If you've got quite a tight radius, you can actually just break it just a little bit, just a couple of degrees each time. And just keep going around a wheel arch. If you say you've I don't know, got a like vehicle that you've opened up the wheel arch, maybe put a bigger tyre on, and then you want to walk an edge so you can actually weld it back on. Yeah, if you cut and leave that little bit of edge, you can actually walk that panel back round, whether it's in or out, and just at a little bit of a time, and just do the whole thing, and maybe 9 to 10 passes, and just keep breaking a little bit at a time. You actually get that to bend out without warping the panel. I learnt that one on YouTube too, watching actually a really good channel which I haven't seen a video from for a wee while, is the guys at Bad Obsession Motorsport. They've been building a 4-wheel drive Mini, like turbo, like it's basically, they basically put a 90s Toyota Celica in a Mini, and they've refabbed the whole friggin' car. The only panel that they haven't really done any sort of fab work to is the roof, apart from drill a couple of holes in it to hang some shit off, but and weld brackets on. But yeah, that's the only panel of the car that they actually haven't physically, and I'm talking like modified the crap out of. Basically, they built a whole new everything, basically. But they restructured the whole thing. It's like, the fabric of that is like insane. It really is. Right, so I've had a little bit more of a play with that. I actually made a block like that, just a rough one. It might be a little bit wide. I might just narrow it up a little bit to try and get this shape in it a bit easier. So a combination of this and this, and then obviously those other steel forms that I've got, like that and the other big long one. I think I should get it. So I've got this back to here. It's a little bit wide, so I just cut the slot in here just a little bit deeper. Not by much, just a little bit deeper. So now I'm going to have a play with this other scrap piece and see if I can get this to form and end up with something like that. And then if I can get this reasonable looking, and I'm happy with it with the width because it's a little bit too wide, you can see that. If I can get this reasonable looking, I'll have a go at making the curved piece. Obviously I'm going to probably have to make, quite a hard curved one of these if it's more scrap, but yeah. So I'll play with this, see if I can get just a straight piece happening that looks, and I'm happy with it, and then I'll start with the curved pieces. I might even have to, I don't know, try and curve these a little bit, I don't know. Even if I'm just using that to basic form it and then whatever, but yeah, we'll get there. It's going to work. It's a bit awkward to form down this other end because I haven't got this other piece to work against. But I think it's going to work. And then it'll just be a matter of trying to dial it in and make it look fairly nice. The guy that made those other ones, obviously, I reckon he probably had a rough die, I think, to roll this shape. I reckon if you had the die that was this shape up, and I reckon if you had it so it would come up and over like that, and you had sort of like a roller, if it was cut on an angle or cut the other way, and it was actually cut up like that before it come back in here, another piece rolled so onto it, and as it rolled out, you know, you'll have like that, almost that semi-rolled edge. I reckon you'd get it, and then you just better hammer the rest of it over. So if this doesn't really work, might better make that maybe out of nylon or something like that, or steel or whatever. Get one turned and then make it, run it through something, make something up anyway. But I'll have a go. I'm gonna have a go because I think it's just for the sheer fun of it and see if I can get it. You know, it's steel. It's at the end of the day, it's just a matter of just keep playing with it until you get it. You know, I've got heat, whatever else here. So yeah. Anyway. It's really fun to make, isn't it? Nowhere near straight this one. Right, I think what I'll do now is I'll see if I can find a piece of scrap that I can make a short little curved piece that's not going to screw me up too much. Yeah, I might have to do these straighter pieces on these other bits, and then these, the curved pieces on a wee short piece. Yeah, a little bit of length in it, a couple of 3 inches maybe. See what you're going to find. Righty, so I've made a little form for it in the steel. If your wells look like that, you run out of gas. I just burned it in there as hard as I could to hold until we get some gas. Should be right. So I'll check my widths for this, just make sure it's not too wide, and I'll shave it down a little bit if I have to. I think we'll be okay. Just make sure none of it's excessively too wide or anything like that. Yeah, probably just trimmed it a little bit in spots. You need some trimming. So I'll shave it down a little bit and get it all cleaned up, and then I guess possibly after lunch I'll start trying to form it, I guess. We'll get started anyway. Let's get back to it. Let's see if we can get this shaped a bit in this next hour that I've got here. Then I'll come back down later on if I get close. Hopefully you might be able to see a little bit more there, I'm not sure. Just to see what I'm doing. It's getting there, coming slowly. I've just about got that at a 90 degree without it being all deformed, but it has sucked this in quite hard, so but hopefully with a little bit of heat through here when I start shaping put this shape back into it, we'll get a nice shape in here. But I've still got to finish rolling this edge in, but we're getting there. we'll get there. Check this in the body, just see if it's still holding that same sort of shape. Hell yeah, we're on a win. We are on a win. It's looking really good for just the straight out shape of the body. It's working nice. Might have to do a little bit of tweaking at the end, but look at that. Just put you up a little bit. There you go. So yeah, that's fitting in really quite well. But it's running that curve nice. So we're getting there. Sweet! Oh man, it makes you feel so good, eh, doing stuff like this that you've never done before. And you know, you got an idea in your head and you just get to hit play with it. I think I heard Arco say one day, you know, sometimes things will get looking really ugly and then all of a sudden it will just start coming. So, you know, you just got to keep working at it. So yeah, I'll get this over a bit more. I might just check the time because I know I haven't got a lot left. But I'm definitely going to come here tonight because I'm just keen as mustard to see if I can get this ready, even if it's not finished. You know, see if I can get these edges folded over and just sort of get this shape back in it. I get that. Where are we? Roughly get that shape in it, if you know what I mean. Get it looking like that, even if it's sort of looking like, kind of like that, but you know, a wee bit better. But yeah, I think that's going to work out really nice. And when I really start dialing it in and taking all these bits off, I think, yeah, this will work in here. Awesome. By the time I get to these pieces, I better use the straight bit, but yeah, man, I'll better dial this in really nice, I think. Mean. Oh, back in a minute. I got a few more minutes yet, I'll keep going. So I'm freaking keen as mustard. I wouldn't freaking go pick the sun up if I didn't have to. I want to keep going. Yeah, so I'm going to have to go. But anyway, if I don't come back later on, which I'll definitely want to, but yeah, that's how far I've got so far. So you can see I'm getting this shape back in it. Hopefully when I really just roll that over, I'm hopefully able to get some more down in there. I might even have to make a little skinny piece to knock down in that mould shape thing that I've got there, just to try and help punch that centre down. But yeah, I think we're getting there. It's going to take a little bit of work. I'm going to have to obviously start heating this and shrinking this edge as it comes over. I might have to make, for this here, I might have to make something so I can hold it a different way, so I can get in there and really bash on that, so I can form it over. But yeah, we'll get there. I'll work it out, because I'm actually pretty stoked with how that looks now. Sick, glory, awesome. Right, catch you later on. Yeah, it'll fit, I'm sure. Right, how you going, guys? I'll just pop back down here for another hour or so. Sorry this video is going to be quite long, or will be quite long. I've already edited most of it, and we're already getting out. So basically what I form now, I'll just put it in high speed and then I'll just do a little ending. So basically I'll just get into it. What I want to do is I want to try and see if I can get this folded over to at least something like this on here, all the way around. I may have to heat obviously through here to get rid of the excess and get it to shrink and soften down so I can close it up. But we'll have a play. But yeah, so I'll carry on. I won't yabber too much now and we'll get on with it and just get it done hopefully. And yeah, I'll see you at the end after the high speed. Right, we'll go have a wee look, because I don't want to be here too much longer, but I'm getting fairly close with this shape now. Like, it's a lot of work to go yet, but the basics are there. We'll have a wee look at the car. I'll just set it on there. I think it's pulled tight in the curve. I think it's too tight now, but hey, look, we can fix that. But you know, that's come out pretty well so far. I'm pretty happy with it. How's it looking? Oh yeah, yeah. It's not too bad. It obviously needs squashed down to the right sort of shapes and angles, but yeah, it's pretty cool. We'll get her. Come around there. Yeah, it needs a fair bit of shaping yet, but the basics are there now. It's a matter of obviously twisting it and tweaking it where it needs to go, and like really dialing it in and tuning it in and getting like the profile shape in there a bit better, a bit nicer. But I think that'll come down to that, and what I'll think I might make is I could probably use something like that in there, like that. In there like that, and just try and hammer it down into there, into that small gap. Because I've got such a little gap, that might be, like, you know, that might be an idea, or something like that. So yeah, we'll get it, we'll dial it in. It's just a matter of playing, but like it's, you know, it's a damn sight closer than it was when a flat piece of steel anyway. So that's cool. We'll get her. Righty, catch you tomorrow.